Hello and thank you for joining me today. Today I'm creating a mixed media layout using Blue Fern Studios in the Mood collection. This is a new collection for them, and here I'm just showing you the 3 pieces of cardstock that I used to create this layout. As you can see, I've torn some random bits from the sheets of cardstock and now I'm inking up the edges. I did also cut a photo frame, and using a die cut I cut out a tag. I'm going to continue to ink these sheets, and then you'll see me start to build my focal point on the right hand side of the layout. As you can see, I'm just layering the bits of torn cardstock, adhering them randomly on the one side of the page. Just a quick coat of clear gesso to seal the paper a little bit, because I'm going to be adding some color and I don't want it to seep too much into the page. Again, I'm just building my focal point here with my tag and my sheet of cardstock, and now I'm beginning to add my color. I used a mix of browns and pinks, which coordinated perfectly with this collection. I'm just drying in between each application so the colors don't get too muddy. Here you can see me add just a little bit of texture to the layout. It's not going to change it too much, it's just a little bit of light paste through a stencil, and I'm just doing this randomly around the page, focusing on my focal point primarily. Now I'm going to start building my focal point. I'm adding the picture, and you'll see me add the title. Here you can see me continue to add flowers and random bits just to add to the collage. My snowflakes, you can see, are blue fern, shabby, I think they're called shabby snowflakes or shabby flakes. They are embossed with ivory, and then the other chipboard bits are also embossed with blue fern's taupe. And you're just going to see me play with the flowers until I'm happy with placement, and I'll just continue to add here and there. Now you're going to see me just add a little bit more color in, just to deepen up my background, and now you're seeing me add a little bit of gel medium, and this is so I can start to add my seedlings and my glitter, which is really going to add to the sparkle of this page. I'm adding mostly to the flowers, and here you can see that I'm adding some seedlings, and it's Tickled, and this is a really pale pink, but it goes perfectly with this layout. And then you'll see me add a little bit of gold Nugget, which are also seedlings. Now here I'm just shaking the page off, and then I'm going to continue to add a little bit more. And here I am adding more gel medium so I can continue to add a little bit more sparkle. Now I'm just covering my picture. Typically I don't put my picture on until the very end of the layout, but I had a hard time placing the picture underneath that chipboard. All you need is love chipboard. So it's on there already, so I'm just covering that with a little sheet of cellophane, and I'm going to start adding my splatters. I'm using an acrylic white paint for this, and then I'll use a mix of pinks, pale pinks and opal pinks, just to add a little bit more to the layout. And I'm just going to continue adding a little bit of sparkle around the page with these metallic paints. Here you can see I'm just adding a little bit more to this page with this bright pink. It's heavily metallic, and I'm just putting it around the page wherever I think something's missing. Just accenting the flowers, accenting the different edges of the page. Anytime that I have this much going on, I have a tendency to use a lot of splatters, and it just kind of ties everything in for me and makes me feel like everything's a little bit more coherent. Here you're going to see me use bits of lace number 9A. This is a really pretty ivory colored lace. It's extremely detailed. It has bits of pearls in it. However, I've already cut up bits and pieces of it, so I'm just adding it to my layout, tucking it in between flowers, under chipboard, just adding it to the collage wherever I want to add even more bling. Here you're going to see that I'm just now starting to add a couple sequins, little tiny bits and bobbles, just to make the page sparkle a little bit more. And as you can tell, this process does take a little bit of time, but really I do feel like this is when a layout really comes together, with all the tiny little sparkles and attention to detail and the extra little bits and bobbles that you add. It's the small details that I believe set it apart from just a quick little kit. Here you're going to see me add a couple more sequins, a couple more beads, a little bit of pearls, and then I'm going to add tiny little heart chipboards that I'm going to paint pink. I'm sticking with the rule of thumb, trying to just use that diagonal line across my page to keep my focal point where I want it to be. And then I'm accenting my title to draw a little bit more attention to the title, which is just a piece of our printed chipboard from the same collection in the Mood. A couple details of the layout, and you can see all those pretty bits and sparkles. I do hope that you've enjoyed my process today. Thank you so much for joining me, and feel free to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.